Yo gamers, welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk about the most effective strategy there is for getting the most out of your grind. Notice I said strategy, not job. And while knowing what job to do is important, knowing when to do that job is equally important, especially for the long term. And that's where strategy comes in. I'm talking about job cycling, and that's what smart grinders do to get the most out of their time. I started this character less than 2 months ago, and I really haven't played much yet. Most of the jobs that I do are the low-level ones I talked about in my last video. By watching cooldown timers and cycling these jobs, I've already earned over $18 million, and that's without Cayo Perico, because I don't even own the Kasaka yet. So let's get into it. Job cycling means paying attention to cooldown timers and then running your jobs in order so that you're always doing the most valuable one you can do. Let's look at my own current job cycle as an example. Since most of the jobs I do have 48-minute cooldowns, I mostly think in 48-minute cycles, but there are a few exceptions. You'll see what I mean in a minute. When I log in, the first thing I like to do is set up my businesses, which for now are just the bunker and the acid lab. I'll go to each one and make sure they have 0 supplies. After that, I'll do the stash house job, and that will give me a full bar of supplies for one of them. In this case, it gave me supplies for the acid lab, so I called that in and activated the production boost, which you can do once per day. Now with the acid lab set up and producing, I session jump to the bunker and buy a full bar of supplies there. If the bunker had gotten the supplies instead, then I would have bought supplies for the acid lab and started the production boost after they arrived. After they're both set up with a full bar of supplies, it's time to start that 48-minute cycle. The first job of the cycle will be the ammunition sale, since I'm already at the bunker anyways. Once that's complete, I'll set a 48-minute timer on my phone. When that goes off, I'll know it's time to do another ammunition sale. Next, I'll session jump into my office and start a mixed goods sale. During that, I'll go to each warehouse and pay the agents to go buy crates, ending at the warehouse with the mixed goods, which I'll then take to the docks and sell. At this point, I could start another 48-minute alarm for mixed goods, and in the past I have. But these days I don't bother, because when that first ammunition timer goes off and I go to do that again, afterwards I'll know that it's almost time for mixed goods again, so I don't really need a separate timer for that. Next, I'll session jump to my MC Clubhouse and check for a customer bike to sell. These don't spawn consistently, so I won't get one every cycle. When they do appear though, they pay 50 grand, just like the ammunition and mixed goods sales. At this point, we're only about 10 to 15 minutes into the 48-minute timer, and for this first cycle, I like to knock out all the once per day jobs. I don't do these in any specific order, I just usually go to whichever one is closest. So for this cycle, the casino was closest, so the lucky wheel spin was first. Bah, clothing, bummer. Anyways, next up was G's Cache, which was a little bit of a long drive. The shipwreck was next. I used the GTA web map site for finding the daily shipwreck. In this case, it was up in Paleto Bay. I have a house up there now, so I was able to session jump to that and then grab the chest. Next, I session jumped back to the city in my CEO office, and from there I headed out and grabbed an NPC modded Sentinel to sell. These also have a 48-minute cooldown, but I don't always do them every single cycle, because they're only available at certain times of the day. If I can fit it into the cycle and I remember, I'll do it. But if not, it's not a big deal to skip this. At this point, I really should have gone and done the weekly time trial because I hadn't done it yet for the week, but I forgot, and I started a crate sourcing mission instead. It turned out to be the Valkyrie helicopter mission, which is really hard to do on a motorcycle. I managed to finish it, but only just barely, with like 25 seconds left. Note to self, buy a buzzard or something. I could afford it at this point, and I really should have one. So after that insanely long crate source mission, the ammunition timer was down to 2 minutes, so I headed up to my bunker and started cycle number 2. As before, I did the ammunition sale, reset the timer, and then mixed goods and warehouse agents again. For the second cycle, I remembered the weekly time trial, which pays so good by the way, 100 grand for 2 minutes. I also remembered to sell another modded Sentinel, but that was the last one for the day. After that, crate sourcing was the only thing I had left to do between ammunition and mixed goods. By the time I got into the third cycle, it was time to sell both warehouses and the acid lab. The bunker takes longer to finish, so I didn't do a bunker sale. I'll have to do that on another day. After the big sales, the ammunition timer was up again, so I did a 4th ammunition and mixed goods sale. So, at the end of the day, counting everything spent and everything sold, I profited over $1.1 million for about 3 hours of grinding low-level jobs as a low-level character on one of the cheapest motorcycles in the game. No Buzzard, no Oppressor Mark II, no Kasaka, no Cayo Perico, although that is coming, so stay tuned. I really do believe in job cycling and keeping track of cooldowns when you're grinding. If I were a higher level character with better equipment and had Cayo Perico and payphone hits available to me, plus agency security missions, I probably could have walked away with $3 to $4 million in that same time frame. So I really hope you guys found this useful. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing to my channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching and have a great game.